Hello viewers, this is There's Doctor 97 presenting you Fire Emblem 6 Project Ember Maniac Mode Chapter 2 Lexon 0% growths. So here we are in Chapter 12. This is the guidance where you get a second legendary weapon in the game. So you get this chapter if you beat Chapter 12 in 25 turns, which frankly isn't hard even in the vanilla version. But as you can see, you're just dealing with all the enemies around here. We have some side objectives, ideally getting Lilina's closest possible list rank and very as close as possible list rank swords. But other than that, we're just gonna get all treasure chests and, well, deal the enemies, I guess. As you can see, even Fid is not fast enough to double the rogue around there. Luckily rogues are frail, so we just need to chip them a bit and it won't be hard to kill them. There you go, that one's down. Yeah, speaking of changes, there are a couple of changes, mainly besides inflating enemies and the fact that bows are 2 to 3 range, promoted rogues around instead of thieves compared to vanilla version, and these enemies obviously a lot more inflated and have better weapons, so definitely can't juggernaut like we used to in a hard version for sure. And Swan Mask is kinda gonna be vital in a way, but I guess Boyers are kinda better if you really want to go that way. And finally promoting Astolfo using a Hero Crest in Chapter 12. The Hero Crest, well, the reason I'm promoting him is not because it's gonna be great combat or not, but it won't hurt for him to have more move. That kinda helps in a way later on, I guess, so I haven't put a plan to hold on, but just going like planning per chapter if I have to. Then as you can see, this is a fog of war map, so obviously can't rush the map and deal the enemies. Like, how will it refer to? Well, that's a lucky crit. Okay, so as you can see, you can't handle enemies because not only because it's 0% growths, the enemies also have inflated stats and better weaponry, so expecting the soloist map is kinda, let's say, foolish in a way. Yeah, there you see there's a brigand and a short axe, I think, if I remember right. Yeah. And Memoran is a 2-range weapon too. Sorry, you don't double Myrmidons, but luckily you can retaliate with a hand axe. And hindsight, a short axe would have been a lot better here, but I guess it'll totally be fine with what we have. So just more killing gives more weapon XP, so Project Ember normally gives you 2 weapon XP per strike, so killing should give 4. And there you go, pushing Debbie a bit forward just to deal with all these enemies all around there. So I just had to take care of this guy, but should have bought a brave bow. This line would be a lot better because of his accuracy. I guess Shen brings some rescue ability, so we'll find out a way. Luckily Lance is fairly accurate, but as you can see, Zod gets double and a thief has a chance to crit him, so we're not taking chances on that, but rather let a thief rogue do whatever he wants, please. I'm gonna get Chesky just because Zilor is Kanto, so he can, well, move around a bit freely. And since I forgot to mention the traps, this map has on certain turns, I don't know particularly when or how it happens, but if you stand straight at treasure chest, you're likely going to get poisoned. It's not a big issue, honestly, but I'd rather avoid getting poisoned. Even that could work your advantage if you really want to raise your staff rank. Excuse me. Even that could work to your advantage if you really want to raise your staff rank ASAP by using a restore staff. So, if you want to go that route, feel free to do that. Here, Echidna is a lot better in battery because obviously her speed is through the roof. Like with a speed ring alone, she has 21 speed. And with a Seraph Robe, she has pretty decent bulk. And if I really needed extra bulk, I could use a guard axe to just take a few extra hits. So that kind of helps. So I want to take care of as many enemies as possible while staying out of the danger zone. Sadly, Roy can't do much, but he doesn't need to do much anyway. So go to Killer Bow just in case you have an item to take into the thief, basically. Sadly, you can't dance with Lilina, but you can dance for other units if you really want to take him down. I prefer Lilina because Roy has a support of Lilina and that gives it extra hit. We can make things work, so it's fine. So, other reason is to go ahead and bring a rogue around here besides the treasure chest is the fact that rogues have extra vision and fog of our maps, so that kind of helps in a way. Like you can see more tiles, like especially combine this with a torch. Pretty easily gonna cover the range of magic unit is gonna use a torch with high magic, so it has some utility in that way. So yeah, this a lot's gonna deal with rogue obviously. Speaking of flashbacks and personal experience with this chapter, so in a previous S rank run, I used a lot more different units than I usually did. So the squad obviously. I mean the vanilla version. I don't know how many people have watched it or even know it exists, so it's basically one of my first recorded videos, at least completed ones. It's definitely a first project which I completed, even though I didn't exactly get S rank. So basically just rake around here and bench Lilina, just because Lilina already reached a benchmark weapon rank that required her to reach that point. And obviously I didn't use a general and I used Fer, I guess, if I recall correctly. She was level 80 in Myrmidon and she promoted in this chapter, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of ironic that Rutger fell off and I preferred using Fer, but doing a run is a blast even if I didn't finally succeed in completing it. So yeah, use Reg. Reg is a bit shaky in the vanilla version, though True Ardent will boost his hit rate more than you displayed at first glance, so it's not like it's not like it's inaccurate, but it's less ideal than you'd prefer. And as you can see, our hit rates are a lot better here, and the enemy's hit rates are better too, but generally speaking, they're totally manageable. As you can see, very few units. So now Echidna versus Bartram, and the fact that when I first played, I honestly thought Barter is better. Like, even everyone said Barter is better. That guy had bows at 3 range, this guy had 20 strength. He could fail a chip without take counter attack, but after playing the air out and honestly considering Echidna's a lot better than Bartre, just because mainly because Project Ember at the time when Bartre is considered better, she didn't get a guard axe, and I got an update after that which had a guard axe for her. So Barret did get a preferred weapon, which we'll discuss later, but Guard Axe is what makes Echidna, in my opinion, one of the better units you can get in this game. He has pretty nice base speed. In the context of 0% growth, as I was discussing in a Discord server, I mean Project Ember Discord server. So this is what it said. In the context of 0% growth, Echidna's base 19 speed is pretty excellent. So with a speed wing, she has 21 speed, so she's basically as fast as Rutger. She wields axes and has the same strength as Zealot, so you want to assume that Zealot has 16 strength, that is fairly good compared to most of the casts. Of course, you do get units with higher strength, but that 16 strength is around the average where most of the units will be in 0% growths. So she has the nice benchmark of 16 strength, 21 speed, and 19 skill is kinda nice. If I recall correctly, very few units reach 19 skill, so flying reaches 20 I guess, and Percival reaches around 20. Then Igreen reaches 19. Edgar reaches 18, 19. Geese reaches 19. Having more skill is pretty important, especially since hit rates aren't going to improve besides using these low might weapons, and sometimes you really want to use those higher might weapons to take care of enemies. Alternative units supports, but those are hard to raise, even if it's important Project Ember, so that's something else. So we just these stat boosters if you really want to invest in her. At the very least, a speed wing if you don't want to invest a Seraphobe, and the highly contested Saints Crawl you get in chapter 21X. If I do manage to get it, those will push Echidna's stats to the point where I think the guard actually comfortably be carried throughout the end game. As you can see, the thief only drops one item, so really wanted skill book badly, which I suggest you. It would be nice to get it honestly in this mode. Just give the high skill units to fight a lot. You'll be glad you did, because you'll have a high chance of hitting instead of missing. As you can see, Zealot is kind of offensively good in a way. You can even bring him in endgame if you wanted to. If you took him to Elia, this Kingmaker should easily push him to a point where he'll at least survive, nothing else. You can use other weapons if you really wanted to, but let's see if I have more slots for him at that point. And you probably want to be cautious about how you advance around that northern area because it's a druid. And even in the vanilla version, a druid is fairly formidable. You could use a light brand to potentially replicate effects of light magic. Really wanted to, but we have 3-range bows, so we have no particular reason to do that. Just need to light a part and see what a druid is. Luckily, the Eclipse and Nosferatu he has done a lot, so you don't have to worry about not doubling him, but Nosferatu is obviously a lot dangerous than you might think, especially in a druid. I mean, druids are only class you can use it, but the promoted versions, let's say, have high magic, they'll have higher skill, they'll pretty much one-shot most of the units, so come closer to point. Ironically, very few units double them, even when they weigh down. But not necessarily not doubled, they'll have lower avoid than you'd expect, so and no sort of gives them more bulk than you'd otherwise the druid should not have, so it makes facing them a lot harder than you'd think, especially if things don't go in your favor, so not something you want to consider about druids. Lelena's already reached her weapon rank, so it would be nice to get a staff rank to waste so that I have another warp to use. We do get a warper when we do need it, like, just barely prefer to get warp. It would be nice to have more, let's say, options. Even if I don't get a warp, like B rank stage alone is enough for most of the stuff I needed to do. With stage, that is. Here I gotta dance with, you know, with Lalem to Luke just to get all his stuff. Push him to get his treasure chest. Also, I want to be particularly cautious about advancing near the throne. There are a lot more enemies than they used to be, and they have higher stats and better weaponry, so dealing with the area is not particularly desirable if you can't see what's going on around there. As you can see, Zilot's reaching. He has a rank access, so you're gonna be fine in that regard. So go and exploit the fact that Ken has a guard axe, so she has a bulk of a general and she's fast as Sword Master, so that kinda helps. The two stat boosters you particularly want to give her if you want to keep it through the game. One is a body ring that should let her use most axes without weighing herself down, but 2 A's for the most part. So most axes weigh down with 2 points, so that should let her have a full speed of around 19. Then they give her a speed ring to push her speed to get her on par with Rutger. You might want to give her a Seraph Robe because she's one of the bulkier can get. And if you manage to keep a guard axe intact through the game, she's gonna stay that way easily. And later on you won't particularly have to use guard axe a lot more right away because you get more bulky units, better units. But Akina just offers that flexibility just in case you need it. As you can see, there's a warrior down there. That guy's a devil axe and he moves around unlike the vanilla version where he stays still. And instead of a hero, there's a Myrmidon if I remember right. I think that guy's a fighter if I remember correctly in the vanilla version. Like, in the vanilla version, even Ray can double him at base with a Flux Storm if I remember right. That guy gets weighed down a lot by a devil axe. And now we can finally deal with Sage around the north. The Sage is in prison in the vanilla version. Like, Presium is an obstacle to get a probably the best treasure chest in a best item you can get a treasure chest in a vanilla version, which is a white gem. Here you get slightly better promotion items, which are Hero Crest, no chest keys, lockpicks, all that stuff. So yeah, as you can see, a Sage is a formidable enemy, but nothing you can't handle for sure. Especially with a kid now with a guard axe there, so it's really fine. Just need to be a bit cautious. And speaking of bulk, you can also use a pure water and Echidna to boost the resistance even further, so probably has the best mixed bulk if you ask me with a guard axe. So she easily reaches around, let's say she has around 7 this if I remember right at base, so pure water gives her another 7. The guard axe gives her around 7, so she reaches around 21 resistance. That's very high. That's pretty high actually, I guess. Only it's really reach close, or probably Yoda or Nime. Well, not yours, but I want to face in combat. Not exposed to combat at a waste, so that was a bit risky. Should have healed up fair. But used Shen there, but Honestly, why do I do dumb stuff? Yeah, go to the Godax. Call the aid of the Godax once more. In the vanilla version, I guess I cannot. Flaw for bulk being not as high as you think it would be, and a strand is lackluster in hard mode. In normal mode, Akina is pretty much a beast. Like, you can easily carry it throughout the end game, but in hard mode, Corn is gonna slow it down a bit while using axes, and a strength isn't particularly high, stuck around 13, and the fact that she's pre-promoted means she's not going to go that far with regards to strength. That's excused because most of the units do not 0Q enemies, but it does suck that she has 13 strength and can't double after, around this Ilya arc. If you go Ilya, but Sakeshi kind of falls off for the most part. She can't deal a nomads. Well, to be fair, most units can't. Akina's kind of stuck at a point where she can't double and her bulk is not too high, and she can't probably retaliate either, so she's a lot worse than Sake than at first thing, but there are Wyvern riders around there, so she can use a Rhyme Slayer or the Armad if you manage to get it to finish them off, but she's not going to be a unit she used to be, let's put it that way. So Bate is, I don't know, a lot worse bulk-wise depending upon how you view it. Speed is a measly 10 in a vanilla version and it hits like a truck, don't get me wrong, and if you really want, like, Bate is gonna feel a lot better than Echidna just because it hits hard. And you can use bows, so give him an iron and steel bow and hit Wyvern's fairly hard compared to most of your units. This bow rank won't go that fast, and this primary weapon is not a bow, so on the other hand, his axe rank is at A rank, so you won't have difficulty reaching S rank, and you'll probably reach a lot sooner than Echidna might reach, depending upon how much you use him. So his bulk is around a fair 16, while Echidna is around 14. Combat Bate is 48 HP is 48, I guess it's 40 plus HP in the vanilla version, and in the Project Ember version is around 50 plus. So on Project Ember, it really depends upon what you like. Firstly, I think Echidna is better, but in growths, I guess Ogi can potentially reach all the points Echidna could do, with the exception of, well, an immediate bulk with the guard axe. And I guess his axe rank is going to be a lot worse than Echidna. So, and his bulk isn't going to be amazing if you promote him early, but the speed cap is slightly higher compared to both the heroes. And let's face it, Deke isn't going to reach it even if you promote him later. So, here's why Shen and Boyer's a better boss killers in general. This guy doesn't move around, so you can just pretty much chip him at 3 range. And bosses do move around in Project Ember, but kinda makes the fact makes bows really awesome to chase bosses, especially since in most cases you won't even get a counter attack from base, so like you just need to get the treasure chest, kill out the boss, and that should be most of the map done. So as you can see, Zilord's gonna get treasure chests around that area. Not particularly good items, but you get a free chest key and a lockpick, so it's pretty handy to have it. If you don't really want to open doors, they can serve as extra cash. Chest keys are fairly expensive, so having an extra one wouldn't hurt. It's kind of funny, you don't even use a sword master to beat this guy. How ironic. One thing I see about Project Ember is that classes are typically dominant, like paladins and sword masters. Maybe it's effective 0% growths. Not really sure. But I'm using them a lot less than I used to use in a vanilla version, and that is a good thing. But well, a rebalance hack. Forcing me to play the game in a different way than I usually do. So I'm going to rescue Astolfo, but well, I haven't we're planning it out right now, so we're going to use obviously a mounted unit. I guess Shen is going to be a choice since he's going to reach a chest, but he's not particularly. He's the farthest from the, from the rescue chain, so we're going to use it to our, let's say, advantage. Counting all the spaces he needs to, well, pull off rescue chain. We need it on 8 tiles, so need more on Echidna, I think, for that. I'm gonna want her next to Lalem just in case he gets support from her. Yeah, no. I guess that's 8 tiles, so the final rescue drop. I'm gonna get in 2 turns, but there's absolutely one LTC this map. You can go ahead and just seize here, but I'd rather get a white gem at the very least, and all this good treasure chest stuff. It is a shame I'm missing a secret book, which I appreciate to have at this point, but it's not a huge loss. I mean, 2 hit does make a difference between hit or miss, but it's not say something like what 2 standard 2 speed can do for no. On the right unit, so you can't drop this guy and this turn, so I'm gonna be fine with dropping him in next. So I'm gonna take 2 turns out of the way, but at least he's a lot closer than he used to be. So yeah, nothing much this map, really just seize and get some support points when you wanted to use it. And there is poison tile traps. I particularly want to place, Astolfo in range of doors. Not that it matters at this point since the map is essentially done and we have a healer nearby. And Astolfo has no danger of dying even if he gets hit by poison, so that's fine if it gets hit. Yeah. More poison, that's an interesting way of keeping units from getting treasure chests. Just forced to do something beyond just stealing a treasure chest and sitting on it. Okay, finally get a white gem, so get a lot more cash that thing than I used in the vanilla version. If I recall it correctly. Get a blue gem and a red gem. So it's been a while since I played vanilla FE6 honestly, so I might be wrong. I haven't played it since, so probably doing my S rank. Since probably finishing my S rank run, which means probably around few months, 8 to 9 months maybe. And I get the armads, so that's probably one of the better legendary weapons. So anyway, that should be it for this map. So consider clicking on like button, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. And see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.